All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready.
Today, we're going to shine a light, I guess you could say, on the life and work of Thomas Edison.
The Wizard of Menlo Park.
Exactly right. And for this one, we're going to be looking closely at the legacy of Thomas Edison, the man who didn't give up.
Great book.
Yeah, and I think for this deep dive especially, we're going to really get into, we all know about the light bulb and the phonograph and all that.
Right.
But what we're really going to focus on is the mindset.
Yeah.
What made Edison tick? How did he approach problems? I think there's a lot we can all learn from that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just to start off, I think one of the most remarkable things about Edison is how he viewed failure.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's heard the quote a million times, but that I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
Right.
It's easy to kind of just brush past that. But when you really dig into his process, it's not just a saying. He meticulously documented every single experiment that didn't work. Kept detailed notes. He was analyzing the failures, constantly trying to figure out, okay, why didn't this work? What can I learn from this?
So it wasn't just about being optimistic in the face of failure. It was actually using it as data.
Exactly. He built that into his whole process, which is just amazing to think about.
Yeah, it's like he turned setbacks into stepping stones.
I like that. Yeah, stepping stones. And, it's funny because when you think about someone as successful as Edison, you might assume he was like a prodigy from day one.
Right, like a straight-A student breezing through school.
Exactly. But the reality is actually quite different. I mean, he really struggled in school.
He did.
Oh, yeah. Some of his teachers even label him as slow.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that? The guy who would go on to invent the light bulb, considered slow as a kid, really makes you think about how our education systems sometimes fail to recognize true potential.
It really does. And I think this is where Edison's mother really comes into the picture, right?
Oh, absolutely. She was instrumental in his development. She recognized his curiosity, his passion for learning, even though it didn't fit the traditional mold. And she decided to pull him out of school and teach him at home. She tailored his education to his interests, his way of learning.
I mean, can you imagine what would have happened if she hadn't done that?
It's hard to say, of course, but it just highlights how important it is to have a supportive environment, to nurture those unique talents that might not always shine in a conventional setting. And in Edison's case, it clearly had a profound impact.
Totally. And, that whole idea of self-directed learning really carries over into his later life, too, right?
Absolutely. Take his mastery of the telegraph, for example. He taught himself how to operate it when he was just 16. No formal training, no classroom, just pure hands-on experience.
Wow.
And I think that's a really important point to highlight, especially for anyone listening who might feel like they don't have a traditional education. You don't need a fancy degree to be successful. Passion, drive, willingness to learn on your own, those things can be just as powerful, if not more so.
Right. And you can definitely see that in Edison's story.
Absolutely. And all of that, of course, eventually leads to his most famous invention.
The light bulb.
The light bulb. And I gotta say, even though we all know the story,
It's still incredible.
it's still incredible when you think about the sheer number of materials he tested before finding the right filament. Over 3,000.
It's mind-boggling, right?
It really is. I mean, think about the dedication, the persistence, the willingness to keep going, even after thousands of failures. I think that's a lesson we can all apply to our own lives. Whatever challenges you're facing, don't give up. Keep iterating, keep experimenting until you find that breakthrough.
So true. And I think it's easy to sort of romanticize the light bulb, oh, he had this brilliant idea, and then bam, there was light. But the reality is so much more complex, right? The technical challenges he had to overcome, finding a material that could withstand high temperatures, glow brightly, last long enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge undertaking.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It wasn't just about finding the right material either. He had to delve into all these different fields, electrical resistance, material science, vacuum technology. He had to become an expert in so many areas just to make those incremental improvements that ultimately led to the light bulb we know today. It really shows you that innovation is rarely a solo effort. It's about bringing together knowledge from different disciplines, collaborating with others, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, and sometimes I think, we kind of take the light bulb for granted now,
Totally,
but just flip a switch and expect the lights to come on. But to really understand what went into creating that is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a testament to human ingenuity and persistence for sure. But, while the light bulb is definitely iconic, we can't forget about Edison's other incredible
Oh,
inventions.
yeah, absolutely. Like the
Yes.
phonograph.
Oh, yeah, that's a big
I
one.
mean, can you imagine what it must have been like to hear a recorded voice for the first time?
Yeah.
Before that sound was like
Yeah.
this fleeting thing,
It just disappeared.
gone. But he found a way to capture it, to preserve it.
It's like he bottled up sound.
Right. And made it permanent and shareable.
Totally. And it's not just the invention itself, it's the whole ecosystem he created around it.
Right.
Recording studios, manufacturing processes for the records, even marketing strategies to make it accessible to the public. He wasn't just inventing a device, he was creating a whole industry.
He really had that entrepreneurial vision.
He did.
Like he wasn't content to just tinker in his lab.
Yeah.
He wanted to bring these inventions to the world and have them actually impact people's lives.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
we're talking about impacting people's lives. We can't forget about the motion picture camera.
Oh, man.
I mean, that invention has arguably had the most profound impact on our culture, even more so than the light bulb.
It's hard to imagine our world without it.
It really is.
Think about it.
Movies, television, online video, all of that stems from that one invention. And again, it's not just about capturing moving images. He was a pioneer in editing techniques, special effects projection. He basically set the stage for the cinematic experience we know and love today.
It's mind-blowing when you really think about it. All those late nights watching movies, all those stories we've experienced, it all goes back to Edison in a way.
In a way, it does, yeah. And, I think that's what's so inspiring about Edison's legacy. It's not just about the individual inventions, it's about that spirit of innovation, that relentless pursuit of progress, that belief that anything is possible if you're willing to put in the work.
Totally. And as we're wrapping up here, I think that's the key takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
Edison's story shows us that success isn't about being the smartest person in the room or having all the answers. It's about embracing challenges, learning from setbacks, having the tenacity to keep iterating until you find a solution. And I think that's a message that resonates no matter what field you're in or what goals you're pursuing.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone listening out there, what's a challenge you're facing right now? Big or small, it doesn't matter. Think about how you can apply that Edison mindset, that relentless pursuit of solutions to overcome it. Because as Edison himself proved time and time again, anything is possible if you don't give up.
And on that note, we'd love to hear from you. What other innovative minds would you like us to deep dive into next?
Let us know. We're always eager to explore new frontiers of knowledge and inspiration.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us on this illuminating journey into the world of Thomas Edison. Until next time, keep that spark of curiosity burning bright.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.